Hey there, friends. It is Friday. I hope all of you are having a wonderful Friday and are looking forward to a sweet weekend. This week is week 3 of having shingles, but I have to tell you that I'm doing a whole lot better. I am off the prednisone and the other drugs that I was taking for the shingles, and really happy to not have that stuff like in my system anymore, though I did find out that prednisone takes like 2 weeks to get totally out of your system. So, still kind of having brain fog issues and definitely mobility issues because it was so involved that it has really affected my muscles and my ability to kind of move. But okay, I'm getting better, getting better. I think the recovery is between 3 and 5 weeks. So, I'm in week 3 now. So hopefully in a couple weeks, I'll be able to move and actually get a lot of my mobility back. However, it has made me feel really good to be able to sit down at my desk and create, in very small sessions, in very small batches. So I wanted to show you guys something that is going in the store today. This is a mini art supply book, a journal. You can do a lot with things like this. The reason that I'm doing many things now is that it's just overwhelming to try and do big projects. I can only sit for certain periods of time. And then just the whole trying to be alert and awake and working is sometimes that doesn't work. I just fall asleep. But this is a sweet little book. Now I wanted to measure the spine here, you guys, because this is what I mean. This is a 5x7 book, but the spine is like 1.5 inches. Typically we're doing spines that are 2, sometimes 2.5 inches. But these are 1.5, and this is kind of the size book that I'm comfortable with right now. We'll get back to big projects soon, but right now we're just going to do small projects. I really love the cover. It says "The most beautiful and fragrant blooms," has this absolutely stellar moth on it. I'm just a big fan of moths. I mean, butterflies are awesome, but moths to me are very elemental. They're almost fairy-ish in nature. To my mind, a lot more than butterflies are. So we start out with our 3x3 mini book. You'll still find 2 signatures, 4 pockets, just kind of chock full of all kinds of things for you to create with. I was surprised the other day when somebody mentioned that one of my comments as I was going through these books was that you could take out elements and use them in another journal. You think of this as a fodder book, as a little creative book for you to tear apart, or because of the nature of the binding of this book, you can pull out elements. And let's just take this for example. You could pull this out, recraft it, rethink it, reimagine it, and then after you're done, you can just slip it right back into your book. It makes your creativity very compact. And you guys know that I'm kind of a big fan of less things, less things to work with, because I think that really good decisions are made when you don't have quite so many things to choose from. This is a creative cluster here. There's a sweet little feather right there. What is that from? I don't remember. Somebody gave me Tandy Leather Goods collection, and it had these really sweet feathers in it, so I thought that was super cool right there. But just fewer things to make a decision about often helps you make better decisions. And then, you aren't stuck in that miasma zone of, well, does this look good? Does that look good? Does this look good? Does that look good? And then you kind of 3 hours later, you still don't know what you're doing or what you want to do, or you got too much on your desk to think straight. Now, that has happened to me just in putting some things together this week. It's like I got to stop. I can't have all that stuff on my desk. For some reason or another, if I'm not well, clutter really, 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 really bothers me. It bothers me anyway, but 10 times worse when I am not well. You've got some things to color here, some very interesting imagery. I like stocking you up on all kinds of funky imagery. You have some little sheets here that you can pull out and make notes on. This is a super cool vintage item here. More vintage cooking dictionary, common terms, a little bit of gardening catalog. This is a really super cool advertisement. Very looks like Norman Rockwell. I think it's from Look magazine, talking about someone in the service, and they got their Camel cigarettes. The mom says that her son says, I can't tell you where I am, but I did get those Camel cigarettes that you sent. Another little cluster right here. You've got plenty of cardstock to work with as well. Vintage maps, current maps, fabric bits to help spur your imagination. Fabric really speaks, doesn't it? Because I think, it reminds us of clothing that we may have worn, or a sofa that we may have sat upon, or things we may have bought for someone. Sheets, are very fabric oriented, so we think about the sheets that we slept on. That would be a fun activity, wouldn't it? To think about I cannot remember the sheets I slept upon. Even when I was a child, my mom was a super practical person, so we didn't have like themed sheets and things like that. I think you just didn't quite do that during like the 60s and 70s when I was raised. It's just, this is the rest of that advertisement. I think it's super cool. Got some coffee dyed paper for you. This is, I have not been coffee dyeing or tea dyeing anything. I've been basically, I love this picture, kind of, getting up in the morning and working as much as possible, doing breakfast, and then walking Mia and coming back up into my studio and just kind of relaxing. And sometimes I just fall back asleep, and that's okay. I'm not a big sleeper, I'm not a big napper, but I'm turning into one. I really like the way this cluster came together. Live gently upon the earth. Lots of papers, lots of textures, lots of different kinds of, you got magazine pages, you've got catalog pages, you've got newspaper pages, paper bag pages, just all kinds of fun things to explore, to define your personal style, the way that you put things together. You guys always amaze me at the way that you can cleverly repurpose, reorganize. You can take this book and make another book out of it, a glue book out of it, and things like that. So I really love to see the way that you guys reuse these kinds of homemade, handmade books. So The Most Beautiful and Fragrant Blooms, we'll just call it The Most Beautiful, and she is going in the shop at $25. I did get to go to the post office last week and was completely exhausted when I got back. Chris drove me, of course. The medicines that I'm taking make me really, really dizzy. And it was really funny. But it was wonderful to get back into the swing of doing normal things, which I think is a really valuable part of making yourself well again. Thanks for hanging out with me, y'all, and I will talk to you soon. Take care of yourselves. See you later. Bye.